Hi, today I'm going to actually show you how to effectively hunt bosses without having to use botters. I don't even think that botters are a very effective measure to do this. The best thing that you can do for yourself if you want to get elite bosses and their drops is to forget about, stalking botters and try thinking about things in terms of what maps are most likely to contain a dark boss. Well, as it turns out, one of the easiest places to get elite bosses and one of the easiest places to solo them is immediately after you enter the Arcane River. Now, the reason being is that they are affected by the Arcane Force, or it would appear that they are affected by the Arcane Force. This means that they are one of the first elite bosses where you will actually have a pretty good numerical advantage, just in terms of the damage bonus when you get more and more Arcane Force. So, without further ado, we're going to actually go into the method, how to quickly find our elite bosses. We're currently going to be, we're going to start on channel 1, because it's how I like to do things. Don't forget to enable our shield. Extra damage, and first thing that you got to do is you got to spawn an elite boss. So this is the fastest way that I know of to do it, and it's with Kanna. Now, why do I choose Kanna to do this and not any other class? Because Kanna has free fury, basically. Kanna has kitchen. Now, unless I pay for a frenzy service, I would be undermining myself and my profits anyway. Because a frenzy service is going to cost me 100 mil, right? But this is free. Kishin is automatically going to give me 2 times the spawn rate for free. So if you do this, it is best to do it on Kanna. Or, it is best to do it while you have a Fury Totem. So, yeah. Place down your summon. Get your Kishin out immediately. Drop the main. Get here. And, just as fast as you can, spawn these guys. Now, immediately, we can see that that channel is useless to us because it's not a dark message. So we go on to the next channel. As soon as the boss is dead, you can ignore these if you want, but I like to mine them. Stuff. As soon as the boss is dead, you move on to the next one. Burst everything out to draw the boss out as fast as possible. Keep that down, keep Kishin down. Come on. What I'm hoping for is to be able to find one within 15 minutes at least. Now, this is most effectively done with a clan. Instead of doing it solo. But the benefit of doing it this way is that you'll always get 2 boxes whenever you kill one elite boss. There it is. Where are you? There he is, and as you can see, we found one. It's taken me about 10 minutes to already find a dark message. Now, let's have a talk about that message. What the dark message effectively means is that in the next 1 to 5, or maybe it's 1 to 4 bosses, the elite boss is going to spawn. All you have to do is kill the bosses repeatedly, and eventually it is going to come out, and you're going to have this one most of the time solo, but sometimes you'll get some assistance. Now, you can call this out in your clan, and they might be able to get a box from it. It depends on whether they want to or not. Usually I don't, because, you know, quite often it spams the chat. So you don't want your clan being filled with nothing but your messages that there's an elite boss coming in, like channel 1, channel 2, 5, etc. Because you will find a lot of these bosses when you're doing this. That said, if they want the profit, and you should talk to them about it, then yeah, you should probably tell them. Get the main down. Probably not the most effective placement, but it'll do. Get that. You need to make sure that Haku is up, because sometimes you can forget. Affects your damage. The only thing that I don't like about this method is it can take a while to spawn the boss, even when you do find it. Which is why you have to use Kanna, really, for this method. It takes... You can effectively spawn a boss twice as fast, as far as I know. There he is. So that's 2 down. Yeah. Whilst you're doing this, you might find cubic blades on those ones as well, which is nice. Not my favourite skill, but it does have decent coverage. Get my GP. Obviously, as a Kanna, you want to probably be on the bottom of the map most of the time, because Liberated Spirit Circle can surprise you and just spawn at the top, at which point it's kind of useless. Always keep Ghost Jackson down, because he does kill a lot of them. Get your domain down as soon as it's off cooldown. Some damage. Yeah, it's taking a while, this one. Still, I think it's within 20 minutes. And you know, if you land that protection scroll, it's always good money. Yeah, he'll be here soon. I think that's the third one. Rope. 8 ropes. Press all of my buffs. Wait. Wait. One. There are some other advantages to doing this as well. You know, if you, unlike me, don't be like me and come out when you have a perfectly good, for example, mutant pit ribbon pig, and miss out on all of your node opportunities. Like, it's dumb. You know, get the pig out. That's 60% more drop rate. You'll get like a bunch of nodes. Would have gotten 2 from this experience. I could have gotten twice as much there, but you know. Domain. Spawn. if I were you, I know it's not the most optimal node to get first, but Shikigami Charm can actually come in handy for doing this. Because it's got such a low cooldown and a really good hitbox. So if you can get it to the point where I can one-hit these things, it's very helpful. This one domain gone. No, that was a mistake. You always want him around about there. Let that charm do its work. I think it's going to be about spawning soon. Yeah, do it down here. That's why. You know, there's a lot of different stuff to micromanage in this class. If you think about it. It's not hard, but there's a lot. Yeah, the next one's definitely going to be the one. And I shall explain. Okay, so on the Arcane River, what people do is they want to train without getting interrupted by an elite boss most of the time. So what they're going to do is, as soon as they see the first dark message, they're gone. They're going to change channel. They're going to go to a different map. They'll leave that one alone. Which means there's going to be a whole bunch of maps out on these 20 channels, which have basically got a boss waiting to be spawned. Now, in some cases, some of them are going to be like 1 to 2 spawns away. In other cases, you're going to have to do the whole 4. You're going to have to do the whole 4 bosses. In this case, I got unlucky. He left as soon as he saw that message appear. But at the same time, there's going to be 2 rare boxes. And depending on how fast you can get there, that's 2 rare boxes in 15 to 20 minutes. That's pretty good going. Now, if you have 2 people doing this in your clan, then it'll speed the process up, but you'll get less boxes. Because you only get 1 for coming to them. I'm actually going to be kind and inform them. Now, if they come, they come. If they don't, they don't. It's not my problem, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's they miss out. But it's always a decent idea to call it. Well, there's only one person online anyway, so chances are this is mine. They're in that row. The main. Not quite. There it is. You might be wondering what kind of range that you need to be able to do this. It's more about that number there than it is about range. Because, you know, 150 damage dealt to 0 taken. Pretty big. There he is. Alright. It's a brawler, okay. Ah, this one's got a shield. Pain in the ass. Send that. Get down. Yaksha. Kishin. Shield. All of your buffs. Yeah, just burst him down. He'll go down pretty fast. So we've got some help. And we're done. So in total that's 3 boxes, 2 for me and 1 for this person there. You know, it's not bad going. Be sure to open them within 15 minutes because they do disappear quite fast. When I get this event I usually try to get some potions because, you know, I like some elixir. And that's it, really. So, what did we get? We got the Chaos Scroll and a Chaos Scroll of Goodness, which is quite bad, to be honest. It's one of the worst drops, in my opinion. You can get stuff like Innocent Scrolls. You can get Clean Slate Scrolls, which are, you know, not bad. Some of the best is Lucky Scrolls and Protection Scrolls. They happen sometimes. You can pretty often find yourself getting stuff like Eternal Rebirths. But that took me about, let's see... It took me... Yeah, this recording's been about 25 minutes, so... It'll take you about 20 minutes to find a boss and kill it sometimes. Sometimes it's faster if you got it early in the messages. But yeah. That's basically how you hunt bosses. And if it takes 20 minutes to kill one boss, it can take 10 minutes if you find it at the end of the dark messages. You can get something like 5 to 10 boxes a day, and that'll give you some pretty decent odds to get some nice items out of this, but this is probably the worst drop, unfortunately. Apart from Occult Cube. But yeah. The basic gist of it is, what I do is I just go to Happy Herder, check that one for a boss. If it says that it's quite grim, that means that it's not going to be there for a while. You know, you move on to the next map. You go to Raging Herder, check the boss there. Sad, check the boss there. You can check the boss in Joyful, but the 3 first maps are the ones which I go to the most. Blazing is sometimes pretty good for it. You can find one there. You can find one in Tranquil Herder at the Cave of Repose sometimes. But yeah, these maps are generally pretty decent. And of course, if you can do it without the Arcane Force, which is doable at like 600k range, I would say, easily enough, you can always just go to Forsaken Excavation site and channel hop there, and you'll probably find a decent amount of bosses doing that. But yeah, that's it. That's how I earn. That's how I get most of my rare boxes, and it's treated me pretty well so far. So have fun.